Let's go cartridge. Okay, welcome to another set from Magna Carto. We've got Classic Pro here in the red as Dravidians against Uzzi in the yellow as Tatars. So we're on Kawasan. Okay, some slightly... I don't know, like I kind of feel there are other better civs here. Lithuanians and Saracens were banned, so maybe these are decent opening civs. So we have Classic Pro opening double range. That's super aggressive. I believe this is played on the most recent patch, which gives Dravidians the extra wood that they'd normally get for reaching the next stage at the start of the game. So, yeah, Classic Pro putting that straight into double range and double bit axe. That's crazy how we can afford so much. Villager is heading out to the pond from Uzzi. So it's going to be a dock on the right hand side. Classic Pro playing this very, very compact, walling in the little loop around the TC. Gold is going to be a little bit harder to lock down. There was a small wall off on that side. Somebody once told me, "Hello Lohab, how are you?" "Hello Matox. Where is my favourite bald person?" "I am here." I don't know if you meant bald or bold. Okay, Classic Pro docking the left hand side. And the archers are coming across for Classic Pro. Should have a numbers advantage with the double range opening. Has Uzzi seen that? Uzzi has seen that, so he's dropping the second range himself. Looks like something died there. He's not very bold now, is he? He's mostly bold, as all men should be. Yeah, I don't claim to be bold. I definitely am bold, though. Love a bit of linguistics in the morning, or evening for me. Okay, so Uzzi has stayed on gold with only 5 villagers now, so mixing in a few skirmishers to begin with. Classic Pro stuck with a much heavier gold focus, now shifting across the wood to add in some skirmishers of his own. Uzzi's base still open on this left hand side, skirmishers are coming across, and Classic Pro Scout just sits there, takes a volley from the skirms and archers. But it will escape. Archers coming in now. No skirmisher support for the time being. Uzzi does have armor already. Uzzi ahead on upgrades. Why, thank you, Lohab. So Uzzi using this opportunity for the armies to be focused on the left hand side to wall up the right. And Uzzi has clicked up already. That's some really good eco management. Market? No. Okay. Very heavy on gold though. Is this going to be straight into cap archers? I think I'd quite like that. Okay, second mining camp coming up for Classic Pro just to try and make it a little bit more efficient at the back. Classic Pro has clicked up 40 seconds, or 35 seconds behind Uzzi. And a just passing moment. Classic Pro continuing back to Uzzi's base. Uzzi on the way across to Classic Pro's. Think Classic Pro saw it with the dock line of sight, so is over here walling with quite a few villagers. Should manage to get the wall off. The lumberjacks, good reaction, good enough reaction that the villagers escape unscathed. At Uzzi's base, one villager went down, either on the walls or the berries, not sure which. And some quick walls into the TC means that this army can't progress any further. Uzzi gonna sit at the back, trying to break through these palisades. There's a couple of skirmishers out. Should push Uzzi away. Just needs a little bit of micro from both players here, because Classicpro doesn't want to throw those skirms away. I don't have a drinking problem. I drink, I get drunk, I fall down. No problem. Sounds fair, Lohab. Sounds fair. Okay, crossbow is in with Bodkin for Uzzi. Uzzi should be able to break through that palisade pretty quickly now. Classicpro, only 3 skirmishers, is in cartilage and getting crossbow and elite skirm. Can't afford Bodkin just yet. Below the base of Uzzi is open. You are correct. But idling a lot on the wood line, so I'm just a social drinker. Every time someone says I'll have a drink, I say so shall I. It's the polite thing to do, Lohab. Uzzi, you mean Uzzi. I think it should be pronounced Uzzi. I think it's a much better name. So Uzzi has docked on the right hand side as well, and is coming forward to put a siege workshop in the centre. I'd like to see Uzzi switch into CA now. Should see the elite skirm investment, and would be a good opportunity to utilise mobility a bit more. Main army from Classicpro comes forward, does kill the mangonel. Second mangonel is only just on the way. Villagers will have to run away from the gold. A couple of these having to path the long way round. Does not manage to pick them off. The crossbow is delayed long enough. It is only skirmishers now. They're going to come through. Might still be able to pick off a villager on the wood line. But that mangonel should pop out on the left hand side and we'll get an attack round. Nice. Good damage from Uzzi there. And Classicpro going for a TC in the centre on the berries. Army pushes Classicpro's villagers away from one side of the wood line. Still completely open on the top side. And Elite Skirm are going to push out. Classicpro is going to have to abandon that TC. There is too much army and the siege here, so needs to delete that. And then will not have enough stone to build a third one just yet. Should be deleting that. Mangonel needs to pop out to the right before the TC completes. Too late. Oh, he's going to wait for a few and then go for a concerted push. Nice. And market coming down. 700 gold in the bank for Classicpro. We'll probably buy a little bit more wood. A little bit more stone to try and build that third TC somewhere. Two mangonels pop out. Gonna head home to help deal with this pressure. Villagers have had to run away from the second siege workshop. And Uzzi now adding a battering ram. Going into stables. On the water, Classicpro has pushed Uzzi off the right hand pond. Left hand pond is being patrolled by a fire galley. I'd like that to be a regular galley rather than a fire galley. Just means you can stop a villager from docking, which you can't do with a fire galley. These crossbows kill both the villagers, or 3 villagers on that side. And now it's still open at the back. They can go straight in there. First armor coming in for the archers just now. It's 4 mangonels though pressuring this TC. And Uzzi is going to try and repair it. gets a really nice attack round on that monk trying to run away with the relic. But there's now a knight coming in for Uzzi. Should have no problem here. There's only skirmishers to defend. Trying to get the attack rounds in. Does manage it. Loses one mangonel, but worth it to keep the other 3 alive. Probably needs a monastery up here to support this. Otherwise, the next knight is probably going to cause too much trouble. I think Uzzi looking like he's just going to wait for a few more. Crossbows did break in again. Run away from the skirmishers. Again, Uzzi's just going to go straight into knights. Classicpro's been producing skirmishers for a while now. These crossbows can just sit here, get good damage. No. They missed all their shots somehow. And these crossbows are now going to get pressured and chased by these skirmishers, while the knights come after the mangonels. Really nice attack round though. 2 of the mangonels go down. Should be all 4 in the end. The knights will then die to the skirmishers. Nope, 1 escapes. I'm in the market to buy a ship. I've got one that's on sale. Oh, Lohab. I will give that 7 out of 10. That's decent. That's decent. Classicpro now coming to build its 3rd TC here, and I hate that position. This is a horrible TC. It can be mangonelled from the hill. That's really not a nice position for my liking. I'd rather it on this side. Or even on that gold. Like, this is not a good position. Here comes the mangonel now. Uzzi's seen it. Just attacking the TC. Okay, does spot it. So 2 knights are here. Knights and mangonel is going to make it really difficult for Classicpro to push this back. Classicpro is on stone though, into the north. So should be looking for a castle in the near future, and that TC might just give him the leverage to get out and build the castle there. Crossbows walk in, still being chased by the skirmishers, and still no ballistics for either player, so both escaping more than they would like. Imperial Age on the way for Classicpro, just building a university now to get that ballistics. Mangonel misses its shot. These skirms are going to have to get away. Try and micro skirmishes against mangonels. The damage output isn't particularly high, so that's not ideal. Similar-ish Ville counts. Uzzi ahead slightly, but way down on resources, so not looking to click Imperial Age particularly soon. Classicpro now has the stone needed for a castle. Will we see one? Where would he put one? Behind the TC maybe, just to try and help stop this? I don't like that position. He'd then need a second on this hill very, very soon after. Going into more ranges. It's just not been producing military this whole time. And the knights now dive in. The villagers have to eject from the TC. They are going to pull away. Imperial Age is in. Castle coming up there. It's a horrible position. It just doesn't defend much. Mangonel's just going to shift focus to the other side. So much pressure that can come in here. Classicpro is getting all of the archer upgrades. Arbalest, Bracer and Chemistry on the way. And a much, much nicer castle there for Uzzi. Will deny this gold. Will secure this in front of this hill. Although, if Classicpro can start producing trebs and push this back, might be enough to take some centre control again. Knights from Uzzi looping around trying to find an opportunity. Imperial Age on the way, and Uzzi is going to tech back into skirmishers. Elite Skirm coming in. Probably the best opportunity to deal with Arbalest. It's not ideal, but if you're later to the Imperial Age, it's kind of the only thing you need. Knights can't deal with Arbalest very well. Mangonels can't because they get outranged. And here come the Trebs. I thought that castle would have ranged it. Apparently not. So Uzzi, with nearly enough stone for another castle, will likely be going for repairs instead. Villagers pathing the wrong way will get picked off by the skirms. No, it looks like it's going to run away. The mangonels closing in, trying to get shots off on the Trebs. The Knights are just going to dive. It's a decent trade for Uzzi. Keeps the castle up. Should give him enough time now to get to Imperial Age. Classicpro shifts to behind the woodline, gives him much better protection from the Knights. Worse from the mangonels, probably, but better from the Knights. Uzzi did manage to dock on the left-hand side, but I think Classicpro will... There's not enough fish left, he's not going to contest it any further. The right, there's loads of fish, but Classicpro won that and then never built a fishing ship out that side. Okay, Silk Armor coming in. Silk Armor, Bracer, and Chemistry.
Rogan?
Hey, yo.
Hmm? What was that? I'm so confused. I'm really confused by that sound. Okay. It sounded like a Nilly alert, but I've signed out of his stuff. Yeah, really confused. Okay, so the first castle does go down. The Arbalest diving up here against the Elite Scan. And the Trebs now get to roll a little bit closer. So Uzzi now going to head to Light Cav. Okay, sorry about that. So, solid mass in the centre now for Classicpro. Arbalest and skirmishers mixed together makes it difficult for anything Uzzi can throw at it. Would have to be full elite skirm or elite skirm and light cav because of the silk armor, 5 pierce armor, 6, 7 still to come. Probably a little early to dive, but I think Uzzi feels desperation, needs to try and stop this. I think this push just continues now. Pikeman now coming in for Classicpro, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see the unique tech in the near future. Uzzi just evacuating everything at the moment, going to build a TC on the left hand side, get on the wood. There's 133 villagers. Economy is well established. We'll come and take this gold on this side. There's gold at the back still to be taken. Starting to take this stone as well. What's the Empire Wars Elo difference here? I don't know actually. I haven't really looked too much at Empire Wars Elo. Let's have a look. Just looking now for you. Uzzi is 1k5 on Empire Wars, and Classicpro is 1k8. 1800, 1500. It's probably a better way to say it. So a substantial difference, but I think that's probably going to be down to games played more than anything. It is. Classicpro's played 200. Uzzi has played potentially 170. Okay. Surprising. Does Empire War Elo really mean anything yet? I don't think so. Okay, siege elephants here as well. I don't know why he stopped. He just push in with that. Uzzi's down to 18 military versus 58. Just hasn't got the numbers out. Floating a little bit on wood. It was used for seeding Bululu qualities. It was indeed. Which has its, you know, there's arguments either way. I chose not to use it because I don't feel it has enough meaning. Uzzi desperately trying to repop. Going to build a TC on this gold just to give those villagers some protection. This range should go down to the bomber cannons and siege elephants. Army will deny the TC maybe. Can range some of the villagers, probably can't range all of them. Skirms coming in on the right hand side. Now pulling away. I think that's a mistake. I think stay and fight that. The issue for Uzzi is this Arbalest mass here. Those skirms are needed, otherwise all this farming eco, which again Uzzi really needs to get Hussar numbers up. Bomber cannons now for Dravidians, added in the most recent patch, gives them that little bit extra strength in the late game. The Hussars running through, don't dive on the bomber cannons, probably could now at the back. Instead trying to take out these crossbows. Arbalest, sorry. Most of them did die, and now Root Steel coming in. Haubs will now ignore armor. Siege Elephants took out the TC. Villagers here from Classicpro as well as Uzzi. Root Steel. Just a single Arbalest on that side dies to TC fire. Nice spot from both players actually to discover this TC in gold on the left. I can't see a way for Uzzi to stop this push now. Managed to stay 120 vils. Elite Urumi swordsman. More castles coming down forward. Uzzi's got nothing to push back the castles. Got loads of resources banked up, but just doesn't have the units out on the map. 32 versus 62 military. Villagers on the left are going to have to run away, but castle there defensively. And the hussars are diving out here. Bomber cannons firing into their own units. I don't think bomber cannons do friendly fire, do they? Siege elephant's gonna just take out all these buildings. And there's no... there's two skirmishers here. Oh, and a couple of hussars now. A main push continuing through the centre. Skirms are running away from it. And the GG is called. Classicpro just doing enough. They do splash, so they should do friendly fire. I think so, but I'm not certain. But yeah, Classicpro with the faster Imperial Age. A not ideal castle position, but enough to get the Imperial Age quicker, get the trebs out and push back the centre. And Uzzi was just in retreat all the way through after that. Just a very slow retreat. Every unit should be able to do friendly fire. It's Medieval Warfare and not kids video game. So yeah, positive KD for Classicpro. That kind of felt the case with the way that game panned out from Imperial Age onwards. And way ahead in all eco. LBR, good luck with your stream. Thank you very much, Jade. Okie dokie. Yeah, I assumed LBR meant JBR. Okay, game number 2. We're on Acclivity. We've got Uzzi here in the yellow as Byzantines. Oh. That's interesting. I only have... I only have 3 Rex for this. Huh. Let me just have a look. Well, there we go. Yep, only 3 Rex. So, let's see what they gave us as the next one. Have you tried turning it off and on? Cool, I've just sent a message to see. Where's the trap bill? Yeah, trap bill just there. Anyway, we will go for one of the others for now. Yeah, that'll have to remain a mystery. Okay, we'll load up game 3 instead. That one. Ah, they did include it. Classicpro is replying. Okay, let me just pause that. Okay, so they've included... Okay, so we've got Why Are Tartars on Fire? Because it's a flaming camel, Lohab. Right, we've got... This is the restarted game 2. Okay, so we've got Chinese in the red for Classicpro. Words for Classicpro. and Byzantines in the yellow for Uzzi on acclivity. Such a toxic camel. It's not toxic. Okay, so we've got range opening for Uzzi, range opening also for Classicpro. Slightly delayed. Chinese now start with more vills, but they also start with less, well, no food and slightly less wood. Flaming equals toxic, flaming camel equals toxic camel. If you say so. Is a lone villager there? Uzzi not choosing to engage. Spearman for Uzzi, just gonna, for Classicpro, going to do some scouting to that north side. Scout is forward, looking around Uzzi's base. Double range opening for Uzzi this time. Classicpro, just the one for the time being. Lohab, stop banning people. Hey Bluegill, by the way. I'm assuming that was just a hello. So, one range opening for Classicpro, double for Uzzi. Uzzi going a couple of archers followed by skirmishers. Have to be more specific that, like, don't ban people and fish. Don't ban people in chat or viewers. Or audience members in the chat and viewers. Okay, I think I've been specific enough. So archers should pick off this scout. Nope, they weaken it enough that Uzzi will have the advantage in any engagements. What if I asked to be banned? Then you've brought it upon yourself. Second range coming up now for Classicpro. Uzzi building a house here with lots of villagers. I think possibly got housed briefly there. Yeah. And then we'll look to wall up at the back. Archers and skirms now moving in. Should be able to snipe this villager at least. And numbers advantage at the moment for Classicpro. Uzzi, for Uzzi. Classicpro should be catching up fairly soon now with the double range and defender's advantage. Spearman goes down, and Uzzi's reinforcements are just on the way in. But Classicpro focus the army on the left hand side, villager on the right, just going to wall up around the back. Uzzi similarly walling up, villagers over here looking for deer. Okay, found them at the back, they're heading across there. That is some super greedy walls. I don't like that at all. In the last few tournaments, whatever the setting, I noticed that Biz Trash Rush is such a pain to deal with. Biz Trash Rush is so much fun. I love it. I love Malay Karambit's rule. Seems fair. Another fun unit. Classicpro building to the terrain that you can't build on. Sorry, I just replied to Classicpro. Okay. So the wall there, while I don't think this is actually as part of a wall off, I think it's literally just to make it harder for Uzzi to do damage. So skirms can patrol, archers can just then walk through. Nice. So both players on the way to Castle Age. Stable coming in for Classicpro should help deal with the skirmishers. But the skirm mass has missed them sneaking in. But will now catch them. Both players trying to micro here. Numbers and HP in favour of Uzzi. Single scout addition should help push it in. And the villagers being pulled to fight as well. Classicpro should now win this. And Uzzi stops producing any more skirmishers. Second batch heading forward. Archers for Classicpro looping around on the right hand side still. Uzzi going double stable. Will it be or going for camels? Camels and crossbow. Only one stable camel production though. Slightly weird. Okay, Uzzi's reinforcements managed to wipe out Classicpro's skirmishers here, but it will probably give enough time to complete the TC, and that will then defend this side of Classicpro's base. Okay, knights being produced for Classicpro. Uzzi, as I said, sending camels forward now. Is adding second TC. Crossbows managed to find the Deervilles at the back, and will probably pick off that last one. Yes. 4 crossbows doing a lot of damage there. I think Uzzi must have... Okay, sees the TC, loops a little bit further around, and Classicpro trying to wall up here. There is a gap. Knights and crossbows coming across. Both players with kind of counters to each other. Knights don't want to engage versus the camels. Camels don't want to engage versus crossbows. Okay, the wall off did complete. Gives a little bit, well, a fair amount of protection to the farmers here. There are crossbows still in this group, so if they get close to the houses, they would be able to snipe those, but camels are slightly out of position. The knights managed to dive on the skirmishers. Skirmishers are going to try and pick off some of the crossbows. Anyway, I'm off. Got exam tomorrow. No worries, Lohab. Good luck with your exam, mate. Okay, so that army at the back of Classicpro's base, I think, will die. No, this one knight will be picked off. The crossbows... Okay, they die as more crossbows come in. Third TC now for Classicpro and a monastery. Uzzi's not kept up with camel production. Is going back to crossbows. Added in a few knights, I think. Yeah, not converted. Exclamation mark add com. Okay, counter-attack now coming from Classicpro. Managed to secure base with another TC there. Knights are going to try and break through the wall here. I think it's just in range. No worries, Lohab. Either way, those knights won't really want to dive through. There's enough army there that they are going to get pushed away. Classicpro using this opportunity to expand the walls just to give safer access to this gold. Again, it's not really safe because crossbows will range it. But Uzzi with the numbers now, feeling confident in diving out. Should I think have picked off the knight first and left the crossbows to after? But university just about to complete for Uzzi. Does not have the resources for ballistics at the moment, though. Okay. Classic Pro has sent the next game, so we've got that ready. And University is up, ballistics on the way for Classic Pro. That will give Classic Pro a massive advantage in fights. I think I saw Thumb Ring come in a minute ago as well, but I could be wrong on that. I want to check. Yes, it is it. Okay, so Classic Pro just going to lurk on top of this hill. Has Mangonel now as well to support this. Ballistics is now on the way for Uzzi. Uzzi's crossbowmen just have to run away for the time being. Classic Pro's monks just going to collect in the relics. Uzzi sees the Mangonel, goes for defensive siege workshop. This is a bit open on this side, but otherwise I think Classic Pro's base is doing okay, that the army doesn't need to chase, it could just go forward. Any reinforcements could then be left to deal with Uzzi's army. And that's what I think Classic Pro is going to do now. Uzzi does have this one gap to do some damage. And I'd have liked Classic Pro to have a outpost or something on this side, just to be aware of that coming in. Thumb Ring is on the way, so those crossbows will be able to pick off villagers very, very quickly. Both players coming in to do some eco damage. All of these gold miners are going to have to run away. Should lose 3 of them. Manages to get 4, nice. At the same time, Uzzi getting losing some vills on the woodlines at the back. Has sent a Mangonel back to deal with it. And the crossbow army heading into Classic Pro's base. TC coming up at the back. Uzzi selling resources. Should be able to click up. It's Byzantines. Does have 2 buildings, so yeah, should be fine. Should be clicking up now. Maybe forgot that he's Byzantines. He's waiting. Okay, does remember now. Knight being a nuisance in the woodline, managed to pick off 1 villager, dies before he can kill the second. But Classic Pro's crossbows are coming in as well. Classic Pro also ready to click up. Picks off more villagers on the woodline. Mangonel at the front. Knight should come and deal with that. If Classic Pro spotted it, didn't. Classic Pro sending a Mangonel to the back to try and chase down these crossbows. Gets a good attack round, but still dies. And reinforcements are now here. Classic Pro with the HP advantage in that engagement. Knight and Mangonel both die in the centre. Minute and a half lead to the Imperial Age for Uzzi. More ranges, more Arbalest will be the plan. Little engagement in the centre. Classic Pro reacts very nicely. Has a Mangonel out as well. That should turn the fight in his favour. Could even pick off these villagers building the range. Doesn't manage to do so before the first range completes. And Uzzi's crossbows have now looped all the way around from the back and are outnumbered in the centre. I know, it'll be okay on numbers. Imperial Age completes for Uzzi. Bracer first doesn't have the gold for Arbalest. Bracer in Chemistry. Has plenty of wood banked up though. Should be selling that now. Does have the market already. I know it's a little thing, but just that extra HP from Arbalest would be helpful here. Castle at the front will give Classicpro that protection on the gold, and a TC on the left hand side protects that opening. Classicpro going into Elite Skirm. I don't think I'd be wanting to do Elite Skirm too much versus Byzantines. This is nice of Classicpro outposting on the right hand side. Still would like to see it on the left. Get some map vision. Give advance warning of any pressure coming in. And Uzzi adds in another siege workshop. Chemistry is in, so it should be some bombard cannon soon. Eco just fully stretched right now. Uzzi is going to go for Elite Scam as well. And Classicpro looking at a ram push. Okay, bombard cannon is now coming. Time to walk the dog, back in a bit. No worries, Bluegill. Have a nice time. Classicpro going ham on the upgrades. Yeah, I know. We got to like 3 layers of upgrades there. I suppose it's slightly easier with Chinese, but it's still heavy investment. Solid eco here to back it up. Makes it fairly easy to do. Bombard cannon pops out and dies to the skirmishers. And Classicpro just has the numbers advantage. And the GG is scored. I think very much like last game, just a good engagement in the centre, giving Classicpro that impetus to just keep pushing. And Uzzi could have fought on. 105 feels probably a little bit lower than he'd want at this point. But I just think he can't stop this push from progressing. But yeah, he's down on army as well. Definitely over. Yeah, very even. But Classicpro way ahead in eco. And that eco went into all those extra technologies. So Classicpro could just afford everything he needed at the end. Okay. Sorry, almost all of the top division is the plan. Alright, into game number 3. So we are on Outcrop. Uzzi here with the Hindustanis, and Classicpro with Ethiopians. If you're getting wrecked one by one, I thought they were just playing. No, it was because game 2 had a restart because of a Bugville, and they included that as one of the 3 that they sent. So I needed Classicpro to send me the actual game 3. So I got that one like a week later. Like Classicpro is super organised. He's already played all of his sets and he's got like 2 weeks left of the group stage. A little bit of scout engagement here. Classicpro has got the lead. Uzzi will run away and will probably loop back round to be near the villager or try and get the hill advantage. That is the plan. Classicpro wise to it and should now catch that. With the turns, I think that just gives Classicpro the ability to catch him. And that is a scout down for Uzzi. Classicpro will be able to see the one range. has one range of his own. Okay, couple of archers heading forward. There is a spear somewhere for Classic Pro. Where is he? Scouting on the left hand side. We'll find plenty of extra herdables. Uzzi gets the walls down on the front. Continuing to wall left and right. Scout does run in. It's a low HP, so if Uzzi reacts, Scout will have to run away. Skirms and archers for Uzzi. Managed to kill both of the early archers for Classic Pro. Okay, wall off is now complete. Classic Pro continuing to add military. Uzzi is stopping there and is now going to try and get to Cartilage. Classic Pro is ahead on eco. Much more villagers on food. Where's the difference? Okay, Uzzi has more on wood. Is there hunt in this? Okay, there's hunt there. And hunt there. Okay, yeah, so they are both taking hunt. I'm trying to work out why Uzzi was able to get so many more on food. Is it more farms? 11 versus 7. Okay. Uzzi now is going to buy the food and click up. Okay, 10 seconds difference. Uzzi's walls are like borders of former British colonies. It's about right. Doesn't know about that being to the edge. Started building a market just in case. Skirmishers come out. Is this the business you mentioned? Yes, it is, Jade. So yeah, this tournament, Magna Carto, is sponsored by my wife and my new business, Magna Creative. So the link that Jade has just put there is for our website. It's just a holding page at the moment. We do have Facebook and LinkedIn all set up, so we can. There's a little bit more information there, but the website should be coming in the next few weeks. As a quick summary, while the game's having a little bit of a slow bit while they're both on the way up, the business is looking at doing content creation of any kind. So anything that a business may need, whether it's written, graphical, video, whatever, we will find a way to do it. There's websites. During the next pause in between games, I want you to discuss this business so we can clip it. Okay, Jade, will do. I'll have a good think about a succinct way of explaining what we do. Okay, so we have forward siege workshop for Uzzi, defensive siege workshop for... Sorry, forward siege workshop for Classic Pro, defensive siege workshop for Uzzi. And Uzzi has snuck down here on the left hand side. It's building a TC. You have time. I'm using my university degree, Mum. I am actually not. My degree is in history. But I'm using my wife's university degree. She has a degree in professional writing and publishing. So we're going to use her incredible writing skills as part of it. Okay, so Mangonel's at the front. House gets deleted by Uzzi to come out. Manages, with the shot from the skirmishers and the Mangonel, to take out Uzzi's. And it means that this army can just now waltz in. TC now on the left hand side for Classic Pro. Couple of crossbows there. Jades is in communication, right? That would make sense. based on things. Correct. Nice. Good memory. Sapien Fez also watches Paradox. So I imagine you told him there. Okay, so crossbows here, just forcing Uzzi away from the gold. Skirmishers come across. Oh, Shadow Stream, fair enough. But yeah, there's a lot of people around, like the smaller streamers. We hang out in a lot of the same places. Fair, fair. Here we have Siege Workshops for both players again on this left-hand side, and both have gone out to TC the right. Archer armor coming in for Uzzi. Uzzi is only on fletching and only on skirm rather than elite skirm. And this army coming in from Classicpro should be a little bit scary for Uzzi. There is the extra siege workshop for Classicpro and 2 mangonels at the back. Start pressuring that TC. And more mangonels coming across for Classicpro. Crossbows coming in as well. Crossbow and elite skirm on the map for Classicpro. He's still just on feudal skirms. Researching elite skirm now. That's going to be a little bit too late, probably. Nice split from Classicpro. Responds as the mangonel fires. And there is a battering ram now. Battering ram will probably die. Nope, manages to pick off the mangonel defending it. And more pressure here for Uzzi. Defensive mangonel coming all the way from the north. Nice from Uzzi. Dives out with this one mangonel. The siege workshop goes down. Has built a second one on the left hand side. Yes, keep going yellow, we believe in you. I like Uzzi as a player, so I don't know what the score is here. I've deliberately got, I don't know who either are. So Uzzi is a Mexican player, I believe. Around 2k3 1v1. And Classicpro is Ukrainian. Similar level, 2k3, 2k4. Probably 2k4. Actually, I think it might even be higher at the moment. Classicpro's been playing a lot on the ladder. Okay, so Uzzi has managed to get mangonel superiority on this left-hand side. Siege Workshop producing another one at the moment. And one comes in from behind, picks off that first mangonel, and the other one is now going to have to turn around to respond. And in the meantime, one comes out at Uzzi's base, gets a really good shot, and wins on the micro on the left-hand side. The fire. A little bit delayed on the fire. Good splits from Classicpro. Should manage to keep the army alive, does. And will now clean up the skirmishers as well. And Uzzi trying to build a castle here. Mangonel fight is crucial. Tries to attack the villagers. And Classicpro wins the mangonel micro. This castle's going to be denied. Oh, no, another one pops out. Just in time. Means that Classicpro has to focus on the mangonel micro, and so lost one to one, and then the other one died to the castle. Now we have a defensive castle coming up the other side of the hill for Classicpro. Classicpro in a position to click to Imperial Age any second now. Some very inefficient lumber camp there. Okay, so Castle and Armoured Elephant should be able to push this TC back. And Classicpro is going to give up on that. And pull back across the right hand side. Uzzi is coming forward with outposts. Classicpro can probably see that in garrison. Kills the outposts. Villager just out of range. Is Uzzi Italian? I thought Mexican. But maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, Mexican. He's Mexican. Cheers, Boo. Hello, by the way. Hope you're doing well. And we have another castle race on the right. Uzzi looking like he's going to win this. Could even deny Classicpro's. Classicpro may well get his up, but there's going to be a lot of dead vills in order to do so. And Uzzi now clicks Imperial Age. Gulam's out for Uzzi. Stop distracting me, I'm working. No, Boo, this is the whole reason that I stream now, so that you can watch me while you work. Not seeing what they're called, petards, which is weird. By working he means shitposting in the GB Discord. I expect nothing less. Okay, so some showtails and crossbows looping around the right hand side. The walls are wide open. Classicpro Uzzi has nothing to defend this. Showtails are like very, very vulnerable to any attack, but they have such high attack themselves. Still no ballistics for either player. Thumb ring coming in for Uzzi? Slightly surprised that there haven't been petards on this right. Or elephants, you know, armoured elephants. Showtail still doing damage in the eco. Good mangonel shot against the villager, the crossbows, and then the Gulams are here. We'll clean that up. Uzzi was going for cav archers. Not sure how I feel about cav archers here. Cav archers should do very, very well against the showtails. Where I would expect the Gulams to lose, but Gulams are slightly ridiculous in general, so you never know. Right. With that castle down, the showtails are running in, villagers are having to run away. CAR out, still. Okay, Bodkin, Bracer is complete, armor's coming in. Showtails massacre in the villagers on the gold mine. This is what we want to see. Someone going full showtails in a tournament game. Or either going after relics. Not really. There's an awful lot of gold on this map, and I don't think it's going to get to relic control. It would be worth doing just because, like, they're both floating gold. Castle coming up in the north for Uzzi. Doesn't protect anything. Like in here would have been better, but the Shotels are in. They will just run in and get bill kills. Trying to chase down the CA. CA able to run away. And this castle on the left should go down, at which point these Shotels can run in again. And here they go. Trebs can now move forward, attack the TCs. Uzzi did really well to kind of control this in Castle Age. I think it's another case of snowballing against him here. Shotels, as I said, they're killing villagers in, what, 3 hits? 2 hits? 3 hits. And yet the GG gets called. An impressive set from Classic Pro. Very, very strong performance. I just love seeing Shotels used in anything. They're fun. Classic Pro, so bang, so good. Definitely.